Hello, I'm Ruben Guevara and I'm here to pitch my family drama The Last Letter. After a young man finds a letter of his dead grandmother, the youngster, confused about his life, will venture on a journey to find his real father. Rodrigo, a joyful young man who works as a cashier in a little grocery store, is always greeted by everyone with happiness. When he returns home, he has to take care of his sick grandmother with his mom. Because of his grandmother's situation, the house is always full with family visitors, but Rodrigo only likes when his older cousin Evan visits them. He's the only one who actually helped them with his grandmother. One night before she passes away, she's able to give an old letter to Rodrigo. The next day, after his grandmother's burial, Rodrigo opens the letter. She handed it to him. He reads it and realizes that the letter was from his father. Suddenly he furiously leaves his house to try to find him. Rodrigo travels to the letter sender's address. He arrives to a lonely and ruined house. When he is inside, two big suspicious men enters it. They start to talk about Rodrigo's father. Apparently they are looking for him too. Rodrigo makes a noise and the two guys run after him. Rodrigo continuously tries to escape these two guys who are trying to kidnap him. Rodrigo realized that his father has been escaping these guys also, but he doesn't understand why. Suddenly the two guys catch him from behind. They take him to a dark and unknown place. They sit him on a chair in front of their boss, a guy who looks old, sick, and has scars all over his face. He asks Rodrigo where his father is. Rodrigo nervously answered that he doesn't know where he is. He actually is looking for him too. The old guy laughs and asks Rodrigo if he knows his father. Rodrigo starts to cry and the old guy laughs even harder and makes a sign to his goons to take Rodrigo away. Rodrigo screams while they take him to the car. Sometime later, Rodrigo is thrown out of a car a couple of blocks away of his house. Rodrigo gets to his house and rushes into his bedroom. His mom asks him about what happened. Rodrigo doesn't say anything. Later that night, his cousin Evan gets to his house. When Rodrigo opens the door for him, he looks at a car in the distance. He recognizes it and he rushes his cousin inside the house. Evan, surprised, asks Rodrigo what's going on, and Rodrigo tells him that the whole story about the guys outside. Evan knows these guys. They are gang members who used to hang around in their old house when Rodrigo was only a baby. He says to Rodrigo that these are dangerous people, but that he will help him and tell him that everything is going to be okay. Rodrigo begs to Evan not to tell his mom about the situation. Evan smiles and says no. They have to tell her and to the police about all. Evan calls 911 and explains everything. Rodrigo tells his mom all he went through looking for his father. When the policemen arrive, one man dressed in a suit asks for Rodrigo. He gets to him and starts to talk. This detective tells Rodrigo that his father was working with them trying to catch these gang members. He did it so his family could live safe and away from this kind of life. But one day he disappeared and just asked him to take care of his son. And one day he was going to come back for him. The next day Rodrigo eats his breakfast and his mom is watching the news about the police department that busted this big gang organization. Rodrigo's mom hugs him with tears of joy and tells Rodrigo that everything is going to be normal again. Rodrigo says to his mom that he loves her and leaves the house. Rodrigo gets to the cemetery and looks for his grandmother's grave. When he's there, he reaches it and he sits down and looks at it. He spends some minutes there and says, "At least you knew him." When he is ready to leave, a man gets near him and pets his shoulder. Rodrigo looks back and says, "Dad?" Thank you for listening.